All right, welcome back to part two. Coming up later, we'll be turning the agenda over to you with our tweet section for Owen and for Shane. But first, we did want to talk about the one county in the country that doesn't have a senior inter-county hurling team, Cavan. The game there has been through the ringer of late, and Ben Egan travelled north this week to ask, what's another year?
Cavan, a county steeped in GAA history. However, since March 2011, the county has not fielded a senior hurling team in any competition. County Board Secretary Liam McCabe explains why.
In my report to convention in 2010, I asked, has the time come for us to withdraw the senior hurling team from the league and from the Lowry Mar? Because at that stage we didn't have an under-21 team, we didn't have a minor team. The team obviously wasn't going that well. We met with the hurling board and the hurling people, and we said we'd give it another year. So in 2011, we fielded a team in the Alliance League, and I can tell you it makes grim reading. I'll give you a couple of the scores. Cavan won 8, Fermanagh 8-23. Leitrim 3-18, Cavan won 8.
So you felt like you were sending them out like lambs to the slaughter, really?
Correct, and that was doing nobody any good. So we took the decision then. Actually, we met at Congress, a couple of us, with PJ Martin, who was then manager, and we asked him out straight, did he think he'd be able to field a team in the Lowry Mar, which was coming up the following Saturday. He said honestly he didn't think they would be able to field a team.
Seamus Hughes is one of the leaders of the Cavan Concerned Hurling Committee, a group established with the aim of bringing back the Cavan senior hurling team.
Obviously we haven't had a team now in 5 years, since 2011, and there was a plan in place then, you know, for underage development, and that's gone ahead, and that's been great, and we've had development. Now we feel, you know, we've had success, we've had minor success in that time, and even the under-21s have performed pretty well. And now we feel with lads getting older and with fellas that's left from the team before, that the time is right now to play again.
Is it a case that the county board doesn't see it as a funding issue?
No, it's not a funding issue, because if it was a funding issue, why would we appoint a hurling development administrator and pay for them ourselves? If we were trying to save money on hurling, why are we doing this then? So it's definitely not a funding issue.
Nobody anticipated it 5 years. Now we're going into 6 years down the road that there wouldn't be a senior team restored. I mean, nobody thought that was the way. If you don't have a county team for these lads, they're simply going to drift away or go to other counties.
We have met with the Concerned Hurling Committee on 3 occasions. It's still too early to put in a senior hurling team. We are making progress. We've had 2 good minor teams in the last number of years. We've had a good under-21 team, which lost narrowly to Sligo last year by 1 point after extra time. So we're not that far away at that level.
Cavan are penciled in to return to the Lowry Mar Cup action in 2017. But why now? Why do you want the Cavan to enter the competition this year?
It's okay saying, oh, what's another year? But another year for a player and another year of not playing at county level, a year is a long time. If you said that anywhere else, if you said to the footballers, look at lads, things haven't gone well, we're going to take a break this year, you know what I mean? There'd be just uproar.
We don't want to take part to be made a laughing stock about it.
But if the players themselves still want to play, regardless of the results, if just for the love of playing hurling itself, would you not be happy to facilitate that?
I'm not that sure we would, no, because, I don't think you'd get the commitment anyway. If you get 4 or 5 hammers like that, I doubt you'll want to come back for more. And what good is it doing? You know what I mean? Would you not be better, trying to get back and working at your club and try and build it up that way, rather than going out against stronger players and getting hammered?
Should Cavan maybe look to amalgamate with other so-called weaker counties?
We as a county, I don't think we'd ever get to be number 6 in Ulster or 5 in Ulster. And where is number 1 in Ulster compared with the rest? So possibly is the way to go, yeah.
We've got the GAA president. I'd love if Croke Park, took the bull by the horns and said, right, well, we're going to do something revolutionary. We're going to take Cavan hurling, we're going to bring it up, we're going to make it a role model for everyone else in these regions and all the other counties, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it does seem to be a decent ending to that story, lads. In Cavan, they're back in the Lowry Mar competition from 2017. There was a lot in that video piece together, Teeth, so kind of neither of you would have had to have had the battles that Cavan are going through at the minute, but that idea of investing in every sense in an underage structure and just forgetting about the senior team in the short term actually seems to be one that makes some sense.
probably those underage structures, like I think there's templates there with the likes of Dublin colleges and even Waterford colleges, you know, getting teams to be successful. So I think for underage it has to start in the schools. Now, you know, Ulster Colleges had a team in the championship there 3 years ago, and they were very, very competitive. They were only beaten by a point by the Galway champions in the quarter-final, you know. So, like, you heard them talking there saying about hammerings and being laughing stock, you know. Like, if you have a couple of players that are interested and want to really play hurling and play at a higher level, an amalgamation might be no harm, especially at schools level. See how that works and see can you bring it on then to, you know, onto minor and under 21. You know, you have to start somewhere, you know, but if they want to have the success at senior in the Lowry Mar competition, well, there's only one way, and that's hard work. And you've seen that with the likes of Kerry hurlers, you know what I mean? And that's getting back October 2016, preparing for the league and the Lowry Mar Championship 2017. Yeah. And there's no way around that, and that's hard work and getting 20 guys that are interested and want to put in that work, like, you know, which is, you know, it's a hard one for them, like, to tease out, to be honest.
Yeah, the Cavan secretary said, Shane, that it costs, I think it's an estimate, about 100,000 to run the senior team. They're getting hammerings like that, you know. They disbanded the senior team, they hired a full-time coach for 30,000, and they're trying to work from the start up again. Personally, I think it's an example to any of these weaker counties that instead of just go back to the basics and use the money that you would have used on your senior team and they had John Milan up there, you know, 3 or 4 times, get some big names up there, get the interest in the schools and start from there and work, because like as it is, it's going on year, and these teams aren't necessarily getting any better.
Yeah, I finished reading Jim McGuinness's book, and he said when he took over the team initially, I forget what ranking he said they were, but it was a long way off where they are now, right? So, and I know, and he went away himself and he got finance. He didn't expect the county board to get finance. He went away himself and he rang up people in London and around the world, Donegal people, to try back this, that he fully believed in it. So if you can get someone from Cavan that fully believes in it and will go, you know, to places like that to try and get a bit of finance and then start. I mean, surely, as you said, there's surely 20 guys down in Cavan that would be stone mad to play hurling at that standard for Cavan. Like, I met the president this year a couple of times, right? And he's as nice and as genuine a man that I've come across. And I'm sure he is doing his level best for Cavan hurling, right? But as far as I'm concerned, if you work hard enough at anything, you know, you won't get to the very, very top, but you'll get to being competitive in the Lowry Mar. And I don't think amalgamating with other counties, I'm not into that. I don't think anyone should do that. But maybe a Team Ulster or something that could, you know, we were speaking about that, you know, explain that. That was a good point.
Yeah, well, I know somebody that was involved in the Ulster Council, and he was telling me recently that, we'll say, there was a South Ulster team in under 14 and under 16 made up of Cavan, Monaghan, I think it could have been, I'm not sure, and another county, Fermanagh maybe. And they competed in a championship against the Kildares, the Westmeaths and Meath. And they actually beat Kildare and they beat Westmeath. And, you know, like, and it took off. And I think actually Paul Divley, a former Kildare hurler, he was the games development officer up there. He was looking after it. And that team was discontinued after a season then. So they had success, they were competitive. Yeah. They were competitive, that's the thing. And then it was discontinued. You know, because, like, if you have 4 or 5 guys of the Cavan senior hurling team that really want to play hurling, they haven't got the chance the last 4 or 5 years. So what do? They just don't play.
See, I think it's a deeper thing than that. And actually, Ben came back with the Cavan hurling development plan here, which, in fairness, there's a lot of depth to it. I mean, I was quite disappointed to hear the Cavan County Board there saying that they couldn't even have the ambition of finishing 5th or 6th. I thought when I watched that, the first thing he was going to say in the country, in their province, like, they need to have that ambition. But there is quite a lot of good detail in here to tackle this thing from a school's point of view. But we do tend to spend a lot of time, lads, talking about to remove this conversation on from the Cavan aspect, that we do tend to have a lot of conversation about football structures and where football is headed and the various dynamics of seeded teams and all that kind of stuff. I looked at it today and there's about 10 teams that can have some sort of an ambition, regardless of how realistic it is, to win their provincial title. There's 22 counties in the country who don't have that ambition and have nowhere near that ambition. Why are we not having a full-on discussion about why those 22 counties can't build a team?
Yeah, no, it's true, yeah, but, like, you know, it goes back to a bit of hard work. Like, the county chairman will just have to meet, maybe, and the manager with, you know, 15 to 20 of those players and see how really committed they are to this. And as I said, it's, you know, if they're to be competitive in the league next year, they have to start as early as possible, October, November, and that, like, you know. And Kerry have done it.
The problem is that they don't have heroes to look up to, the young people in school, like you would, you know, in your own counties. And I'm sure you always hear with Kilkenny and Tipperary and Limerick, you'll start holding a hurl when you're, you know, 2 and 3. In Cavan, Tyrone, all these counties, that's not there. That tradition's not there. And if you don't pick up hurling early, I'm sure, you know, you just don't get to grips with it.
Yeah, it's a fair point. But even, like, you're never in the wildest dreams going to have 32 counties fighting for a provincial championship, right?
But
it's
even,
never going to happen,
even to improve their level.
Yeah, you want to improve. That comes back to, and it's like at the end of the day, right? It's not a professional game, right? So you can only work with what you have, and you just might come across a bunch that aren't as talented as they might have had previously, and that happens in every county, right? So you just got to work as hard as you can, and even listen to the secretary from Cavan, like, saying that about 5th and 6th in their province, like if you had your own county board that don't even believe in you, like, what chance have you? Like, you need to get people that put a bit of belief into you that will work with you, and even listen to that, like. It doesn't seem to be there, really.
Yeah, because I do think that the 32 county, I think the point that you make is perfectly valid. It's an unrealistic ambition that all 32 counties, because it doesn't even exist in the football. But certainly there must be some sort of an overarching strategy that, like, 10 teams is just not good enough. 2 full provinces, one of them whose championship doesn't exist, the other one whose it's just a formality.
Yeah, I think like a Donal O'Grady and Anthony Daly, these fellas should be sent into these counties and paid.
Yeah.
You know, go in and inspire these young.
Like when you're talking about kids going around at 3, 4, 5 years of age, and it becomes part of what they do. We need people that can inspire that when they're young kids.
Yeah, no, it's even a pity that Antrim are in Division 2A. Like, cause I remember growing up, like, Antrim was always competitive in the league, and even, you know, they were getting to All-Ireland semi-finals, and they were competitive, like, you know. So, like, the word that was mentioned there in that Cavan piece, like, was hammerings and laughing stock, like, and you know, that's not what you want. But you know, and I'm going to reiterate what I'm saying again. Like, it's down to hard work. Like, there's no substitute, you know. And like, if Cavan are serious about next year, you know, it starts this year. Yeah.
Yeah, well, maybe they're a bit of a pointer for everybody else as well. This is a pretty decent document that they have in place, and we spoke to Kieran Carey last week, obviously in charge of Kerry, and a lot of green shoots in counties like that as well. So maybe the future is bright, Willie.
Yeah, I think that going back to basics, Cavan would be a good, like, you know, case study as to how to do it.
Yeah, all right.
All right, in part 3 we answer your questions, so you've got a full ad break to get in touch. Tweet us at GA on Setanta or use the hashtag Alliance Leagues Extra.
All right, still to come, we look ahead to this weekend's football action with Aaron Kernan, but next, you will take charge. We're back in 3.